Oh man, I feel very uncomfortable right now going live. And I don't know who's going to watch. It doesn't matter. I love it if people do join, but if people don't watch, it's okay because from what I can, why did it do that? From what I understand with lives is that they save. And that's what I'm hoping for, is that it saves. Thank you all for joining. Like, really, thank you a lot for joining. I have not great eyesight, so I can't read good all my contacts in. But I have been really just in my bubble, like, you're not gonna affect me, no boo boo type thing, like immature, but that's what I've been doing. And then I heard, like, right before I jumped in the shower, some parts of Toddie's live, and like, my heart just started beating out of my chest with that Brent Emerald girl on there. That was like, and I'm sorry, y'all, this is not about riding up church. So, but yeah, I do hope that my 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 friend, my sister joins me. If not, it's fine. But like, all of y'all who are here, I appreciate it. Let me first address, which I don't even know where to begin. Let me address Brent Emerald, okay? Because she wanted to say on Toddie's that I need to get offline, that I do horrible things, this, that, and the third. So y'all, the Gypverse community, right? The original OGs, if y'all are there, y'all remember me. I used to love going on Morbids. It all just started from me doing a petition to get her offline. When I saw she was getting out of prison, I was like, do not let her online, because if people who people who commit crimes on children cannot go online, because that's where they find their victims, then someone who utilizes social media to commit such a heinous crime should not be on it, in my opinion. And I really appreciate that Morbid, he promoted that a couple times, and it really did not get that many signatures. So if you do care, it's change.org /ban with a capital B, BAN, Gypsy, capital G, her name, Rose, capital ROSE. So Ban Gypsy Rose is on change.com. Sorry, y'all. I have really bad anxiety. It's no secret. Everybody knows I have bad anxiety. I'm a recovering addict. I guess it's like with my accent, I have like a natural slur. I don't know. Maybe it's like I got like a really small mouth. I got big lips, but I wasn't born with them. So thank you, Grandma. I can't secret Grandma's babies for joining. Like I said, all y'all, just to hear the truth. So I heard Brent Emerald come on. I don't know a lot about Brent Emerald, but what I do know, I can share, because I got accused of running her out of Morbid's community. Well, okay, Morbid, Morbid had his panel, and he allowed me on his panel for months, which was very generous and kind of him. And he had a Discord, and he had a lot of OG people on there, and I got to meet a lot of them, which I really, really really liked them. And so, anyways, with Brent Emerald, I'd met her on there when she came in. I was fairly new myself. She knew a lot about Discord, but I didn't know like a lot about her. She seemed like a really nice person. We're talking about how I was in the middle of like job searching, because I just came home from, treatment. I was in rehab, and so I wanted to get back to work, get things going and stuff. And anyway, so she was like, yeah, I got a program at work. I work at an oil tycoon thingy, and if you send me your resume, I'll help you update it where it's going to look like perfect, and you'll get hired like that. So I was like, okay, sure. Y'all, I didn't know Discord. Now, I did not know Discord. I did not know how. Oh, is the volume like messing up, y'all? Okay, I'm sorry. What, could y'all hear any of that? Because I don't know. Is this the only name you went by on? Yeah, this is the only name I've ever gone by. Shit, sorry. Hold on, let me put this up. Only name I've ever gone on. So anyways, never been under a different name. Never, ever, ever. So, I tried to backup account, but it didn't work because I guess if you don't use it, TikTok will just get rid of it. I didn't know that. So anyways, back to me and Brent Emerald. She seemed really nice. Gave her my mistake. I own it. Gave her my information through my resume because I didn't know then what I know now. And that was a big mistake on my part. And from that moment, I thought it was something happened where people who like started talking to each other were finding out that like Bryn would say something to your face, but then say something really bad about you. No, I never worked for Becca ever, and I'm not a zombie girl. I'm not zombie mom. I did donate and buy like pizza for zombie mom, and I sent her a Visa like gift card like to pick up a prescription. I'm not zombie mom. I'm no one but me. I don't know if zombie it's the same person as Elena. I used to get them mixed up. I'm not sure if they're the same people. So Brenda Emma, I'll just say real quick. Anyway, I found out she had been like saying some really unkind things about me, which was fine, whatever. That's my fault for trusting, right? And saw the screenshots, whatever, and that was it. I just like we talked about it in the Discord, and that was just it. She stayed in. She wasn't kicked out, nothing. I stayed. I was like, I'm just going to take this as a learning lesson. And y'all don't always learn things on the first time. I never said I did. And so, anyways, now if famous stuff, or if y'all do see, if you see, gosh, I can't think. I'm brain fart. Beyond the narrative, she wants to join, she'll definitely. But thank you guys all for coming on, like I said, and hearing me out. Like I said, I'm only doing this to tell the truth, the whole truth, and help me God. Like, I will not lie on this live. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so hi guys, thank you. So yeah, with Bryn, I did not have a great experience with her, but she was still in the community. I thought she was, fine, cool, whatever. She screwed me over. That's fine. It's not. A is not my Discord. B is not my, I don't own the gypsy community. So, anyways, I don't know what happened. It's not my business. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's their business. But I guess she was really close to like Butterbug, Casey May, and them, and something happened with them. I don't know. It was like months later, like months later. Hey, thanks for coming. Something happened like months later where they had like a falling out. And if at any time y'all can't hear me, please tell me, because I may have to charge my phone and take the mic off. They had a falling out. And it was kind of funny. There was like a group created that was like victims of Brent Emerald, because there's some YouTube videos made about her, just like how she jumps from one community to another. Look, she's still on Starlight's panel. Like I said, I don't know. Her, Casey, May, and Bug were all friends. She's still in their lives and the panels, and I don't know. Last I knew, she was like going to the bookstore down in Louisiana to protest against Gypsy, and she never showed. That's the last thing I know. Thanks, Janelle. I appreciate it. So, when I heard her say, she said on Toddie's, guess what? I was not surprised, and I'm going to get there to why I was not surprised. Like I told y'all, I was stupid to give this girl my personal information to help me with a resume. Well, learned from the Discord situation, learned that, I don't want to be involved. Before that, straight out of context, me and Barbara, we did become friends, and she did seem to want to help. And I don't want to bring up the Lady What's Doing account, but I do, because I feel like I don't know anything else it could be about. I did not look. I was all for the account. I own that. I was like, yeah, get them, because at that time, Nina wasn't being really nice to me at all online. Not at all. She actually yelled at me a few times because of the rally thing, which I still do think those girls probably really wanted to help with that rally. They just were inexperienced. But the point was that I would go on there. The girls and Cajun Jen would start yelling at me. I'd get off. The girls would reach out and be like, "We're so sorry. Let's go back up there." Like 3 different times. And finally, I was like, I'll help y'all from the sidelines. I don't want no parts. And I'd been telling Barb that, and when I told her like the inconsistencies and what people were messaging me about the rally, she was like, I was like, "Girl, I don't know how to make content like you. I'm not a content creator." And she was really kind to help me make the video I made, where I was like, "How do you do green screen? I don't even know how to do the green screen. How do I put like this behind me stuff?" And so, y'all, my face is not showing, it's because I have a bad habit and I can't show it. But anyways, yeah, she seemed very nice, very awesome. I was interested in the Adaptive Kate stuff at the time. I know that's a name y'all haven't heard in a while, right? Adaptive Kate. So, hey, freaking Urker, you cracked me up, that name. But, at one point, she was like, "Hey, do you want to go on a live with Kate, with Adaptive Kate, that she's going to be on the live, and, she wants to own up to things." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Well, she wants to know if she goes up there and owns stuff, will you, like, I mean, Nani's, if she wants to, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to get, stay on the same timeline, and then I'll take questions from everybody, whoever wants to join. It's whatever. But I have ADD. I get very distracted easily. So, anyways, the Adaptive Kate, I was like, I've been up since 3 a.m., but okay, if she's going to take accountability, cool. Part of that was if I went on her live and she took accountability, I would take down the videos I made about her. Well, I did not feel like she took accountability. I heard that the FBI had reclassified Munchausen by proxy as just CA, like child, you know what? And that sucked. But during this situation, okay, I even warned Barb about Bryn Emerald, because she's like people were like reaching out to, like, we saw like these videos on YouTube where they're like, she's been in this community, this community, this community, and has blown them up. And so we like, and no one cared. It really happened to me and Bam and stuff, which is fine. But like I said, she got in her own sort of situation with Casey May and What a Bug and stuff, which is none of my business. But like I said, there's a group of like survivors of Bryn Emerald. But she was still on panels, still doing stuff. I hadn't talked to her, didn't care to. With Barb, I really thought we were friends. Certain things I wasn't comfortable about, I own. Now this, I'm actually probably going to defend her on. There was like ish talking about Nina at the time, because like I said, she was not very nice to me, and that does not make it right. But it's like even Barb said, you're talking to a girlfriend, like, it's fine, it's whatever. And and then the Becca stuff, when I had sent her Bree's video about Becca, y'all, that video, I was shocked. If you were shocked about the video Bree put out about Becca, please hit the like, the heart, whatever, like this live, because if y'all remember that, it was shocking. And I was like, I sent it to Barb. I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. They're saying she's not a cop widow, that she's like pretending to be this other person, and like, what is this? Like, this is crazy. And Barb was like, dude, that's crazy too. She's like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, blew my mind. And the next time I see like the Linwood Viking stuff come in, and she was like, she sent it to me, and I was like, oh man. And explained the Rodney, y'all, I was born in the 90s. Rodney, something crime. I know Rodney, who got beat in the LAPD. I can't think of his last name. If you know his last name, please tell me. I don't. Hey, Deanna, I'm so glad you're here. I really am. And so, that was really crazy information to know. And you bet and believe I listened to her podcast, and I read those articles, And I sent those articles to Straight Out Context. And we were both on like the same thing where we were like, she's racist, homophobic. She's like not a very nice person. Like she's gross. And it was kind of like, I'm not going to talk about her publicly. I'm not going to support her publicly, but I'm not going to badmouth her publicly either, because at that time, y'all, I like, we were the first to know. And then I saw how like Nina tried to speak out, and even Nina, like beloved flawless Nina, like she got jumped for talking about the truth about Becca. So it was like, oh, really don't want to be part of that. I mean, even the message that Amber got from Becca, I read that email on a live, my first live. I read it because I was like, this is crazy. The live got deleted right after, but I was like, this person's not a good person. They're not, I'm not going to ever bring up their addiction or anything like that, because I am not the person to go for that. Like, I'm not going to go for low blows like that. So, me and Barb, we're good. We're friends. And then a friend of mine, Mina, beautiful girl, like, she was a roommate of mine in treatment at sober living. She had overdosed and passed away. So I missed the live about Lady Whistledown that Morbid did. And when I finally saw it, Casey May had like a link where you could see it, and I heard her like saying it was me and blaming it all on me. I felt so betrayed. So betrayed. And I had already was kind of feeling away because like I feel like she could have got me in trouble legally, because there's a situation going on with Adaptive Kate and another person where they were both like, a court situation was occurring, and they were not allowed to speak to each other nor try to get the other one to drop the case. And at that time, Barb, she felt bad for all the hate that Adaptive Kate got. She felt like she was being bullied. I didn't really feel that bad, to be honest. And that's horrible to say now. I'm just saying, at the time, I didn't feel bad because I'd seen the damage Adaptive Kate was doing. I saw her talking about people's children and things that like you just don't do. So I didn't really feel bad at the moment. So, but then she was like, well, she's getting bullied. In this case, she's like, it can't be a third party, so I can't try to get the other person to not continue this case with Adaptive Kate. But you would be considered a fourth party, so you should do it. And I was like, what? Oh, a fourth party? I've never heard of that. And luckily I talked to someone, a friend of mine that's an attorney, and she's like, there's no such thing. You would be a third party. You would be breaking that. Like, you cannot do that. So I'm really bad at telling people no. So I would just tell Barb, like, couldn't reach her. Didn't have a chance to bring it up because I wasn't going to tell someone not to go forward in a case I felt like they had every right to do. Every right to do. So, ew, that happened. Me and Straight Out Context, once the limit, once the Lady Whistledown thing happened, I did apologize. She's 1,000%. I apologized because I thought it was my fault, because there's only 3 people on the phone when she talked about doing that account. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't, but I found out later it wasn't me, that like 3 people told Morbid. How they found out, I don't know, but it wasn't me. So now I don't feel that bad. And I'll tell you, I saw that the account was up yesterday still. I'll tell you about that account still up. It's kind of funny. When Miss Lady Whistledown no longer wanted to, like, the heat was coming in and didn't want it. Look, there's things on that account that I wanted, like, access to, that my phone runs out of storage all the time. So I was like, please keep it up, because I really love to have this part where Nina's yelling at me because, it's not in the live replay and stuff. And she was like, well, Lady Whistledown, aka me, but Lady Whistledown no longer wants the account, and do you want to take it over? And I was like, I'm not good at making videos, but I guess, I don't know. What I didn't know is the 2-factor, 3-factor authentication thing. So I know she changed the password, but you can't do it without that 2-factor authentication thing. So I never got to change password, and so I guess it's just stuck now in limbo. Like, the account's still up. I looked yesterday, I was like, holy cow, this account's still up. I guess it just got stuck in limbo. Now, I still, though, I had a very bad, like, horrible experience with with the Discord stuff, the drama after drama that I felt horrible for getting into. Look, I know people are gonna say you doxed Nina's child. I didn't dox her child. A, I was not in Morbid's Discord when it happened. B, the person who did was just trying to point out hypocrisy. That was all. C, when I showed for literally maybe a few hours that Nina had posted a picture. I scribbled it out, like Morbid scribbled out, like, you know, I was like, I'm not showing this child. And it was just like pointing out like hypocrisy. Like, y'all say I can't have my son online, that it would be putting him at risk of predators. But what about Christmas cards? That was my whole point. I'm like, so should I have to scrub him from Christmas cards and stuff? Because that's not cool. I feel like if people look at a child that way, that's them. They're the disgusting ones. But I do think you should know everybody who is on that person's account. Like if you have a Facebook and you have your child on the Facebook, you know, totally, like, you should know those people, right? That's just how I look at it. But every parent's differently. It's all fine. A story about a friend's pellet fever. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm doing this truth. I'm just doing the truth out. So, you know, I just like, so y'all catch me. I had nothing to do with Brie Emerald getting curved out of the Morbid community. I didn't have anything to do with that. What she did to me had nothing to do with it. It was what she had done with her friends. I don't know. So, point is, I did apologize to Barb. I sent her a message and I was like, I'm sorry that this happened. I'm so sorry that this happened. And before it happened, I was getting together a package because it was really cold where they live. I'm not going to say where they live or how many children she has or anything, but I had a package going, and my husband ended up, he was saying like he couldn't breathe good. It hurt when he breathed, and we went to urgent care, and I feel so bad about this to this day, y'all, because I thought he had a respiratory infection, was just being a baby. I had no idea he had pulmonary embolisms. He went to the hospital very next day, and they said if he had not came in, if he would have waited 24 more hours, he would not be with me. And y'all know me, I've been with my husband for 18 years. I'm 35, do the math. He's 10 years older than me. Like, that was my first love, first boyfriend, everything. So, when Barb didn't reply to my apology, I just left it at that. And I left Discord. I left all group chats. I was like, this is just drama I do not need in my life. Instead, this is my second life. I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to be involved in all this. I'm gonna back out now and just stick to myself and talk to the couple people I trust and keep it good. Just keep it going. Like, just stay out of the ish. So you guys can only understand my shock and disbelief when I got a message saying your arrest from when you called Amazon, the police, about your Amazon packages that got delivered Halloween night and I don't think trick-or-treaters, I think they knew they were not theirs. But anyways, when that whole video of the arrest, when they were like, well, you have a warrant, and I was like, what? Let me just, this is total honesty, okay? Total honesty. I went to rehab into 2020, beginning of 2021. It took me a full year and a half to really get with the program. Like, it took a while. So, anyways, Walmart, when I came out, I loved like bargain shopping. I loved it. I love penny deals. If you don't know what penny deals are, Google it. They're amazing. I got accused in 2022 from Walmart for shoplifting. Okay. And then what y'all saw that Straight Out Context posted was from 2024 to 2025. I say 24, 25 because we went New Year's Eve of 2024. And I was just shook it. First off, I totally pleaded no to the first charge because they were like, this is a misdemeanor, state of Georgia, you get 12 months. Are you willing to risk 12 months of jail time for this? No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. So I didn't even take a plea. It wasn't even a plea deal. But I went ahead, pled no, got my probation done within a couple months, paid the fine, moved on. And then when this happened, I was like, I'm not going to plead out. I'm not guilty. I didn't do anything wrong. They automatically dismissed the charges from my husband because, you know, he was on his phone half the time and then paid. With me, they kept prosecutors going, this deal. Each one was a little bit better, but I was like, no, I'm not getting that on me. Good morning. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, if y'all were innocent and you have a public defender, it's really easily to want to plea out. And I would have probably took the plea deal if it wasn't for my best friend and my husband being like, you know, you did nothing wrong. Let's go to trial. So, y'all, I went to trial. And it fell, unfortunately, on my son's, one of the days fell on my son's birthday. So I went to trial April 27th and the morning of April 28th. Man, when I tell y'all that asset protection guy got caught in so many lies, oh, it was the best to see him get caught. And the prosecutor just looked, she was mean. She made me cry on the stand. And she's like, are you crying for sympathy? I'm like, no, I'm crying because you're a bitch. You know, like, but point is, jury deliberated 20 minutes, not guilty. Every member of the jury, not guilty. Let me just, I know, so I'm just going backwards again. So imagine, I have not talked to Barbara in a year. The last thing, I messaged her May 2nd to apologize that she went through that on Morbidx. And a year later, you dox me and my family. I totally understand FOIAs. I understand it. But what you cannot do, and it's not, if police departments and stuff, they get things wrong all the time, like Amber Into the Weeds, you know, like the nudity stuff. None of us want to see Gypsy nude anyways. So good. Like, I'm like, ugh, who wants to see that? Like, she's already ruined barbecue sauce for me, and Charlotte Tilbury for me. Like, she's ruined so many good things for me. Lancome ruined. I don't want her ruining anything else of mine that I love. So yeah, and YouTube took it down because not just the address was showing, our tags on our vehicle showing. My elderly mother-in-law, not just her information, she was physically in the video. My child's information was in the video. All of that is on, it's on the uploader to redact. And she did not want to redact it. I saw messages where she told people, no, I'm not redacting it. She wanted it out there, which is, like I said, I put myself online. That's fine if you come from me. Don't hurt my family. So, and like I said, a year went by. You wait a year, and now I heard that it was her and Becca that did it. Oh, by the way, I'm not surprised about Bren because a year ago, we all saw, well, a few, like us in the Bren support group saw where she was commenting on Straight Out of Context video all of a sudden, like when she did get iced out of the Morbidx lives and I guess case. I don't know. She's got a case too. I don't know if she got iced out of that community. I don't know. But I saw her and I told Steph, I said, I'm going to get doxxed. She's got my resume. She's going to give it to Barb and Barb's going to dox me. Watch it happen. And that's why I've been careful not to say anything for a year. Didn't matter. Didn't say anything. I still got doxxed. And not just doxxed. I get it's slander and defamation if you get accused of stuff that you haven't done. If I have to dox myself to prove it, which I feel like I shouldn't, I never stole a lady's wallet or check fraud or no fraud of any kind ever. Okay, and I see where I'm getting threatened, more stuff could come out. Blah, blah. I own that. I got a DUI in my 20s, but you want to get that footage, that for you, go ahead, because it's also going to show that I literally tell the police officers that I had just been sexually assaulted and I just want to go home. That I got locked in a bar for 5 hours. And I'll even say the bar's name. I don't care because it's true and it's in a police record. It's in downtown Fayetteville, Georgia. His name's Larry. He owns the tavern down there, and I got locked in there for hours. And TikTok, I can't say. Y'all just imagine what occurred. That's all I'm going to say. And, yeah, it sucked. But if she wants to put that out there, I own it. I own that I was at that bar after getting my hair done. I own that I got locked in there for 5 hours. I own that this happened to me. You know, can't make, you've already put all this stuff out that you can't. And Toddie, I heard Toddie say, well, why? I saw how she just jumped up on Morbid, ready to jump on Barb. Y'all want to know why I did that? Why I was so ready? It had nothing to do with the Linwood Viking stuff. None of that. Had nothing to do with that. It was because after Barb doxed me and put out that video, y'all, it wasn't just personal risk, like my physical risk and my family's physical risk that could have been like harmed, but financial fraud. I didn't realize that until the next day. Within 24 hours of that video being put up, my husband's bank account and my credit card both got hacked, and gift cards were being bought one after another. And so thanks for financial fraud. Like, you can't, if you put people's information out there, including my social security number, y'all, was on that video, my full legal name, my address, my social security, and she did not care. Even though I've not said anything for a year to anyone. I don't talk about it. Anyone, it's just me and my bubble. And the reason I jumped up on Morbid, ready to jump up there, is because I saw where people sent me, she had made more videos about me. The cease and desist saying it wasn't legal. It is legal. It's 1000% legal. And I didn't say it was over the FOIA. I said it was over the information that should have been redacted. And then to say my husband, instead of pulmonary embolisms, which she should check her messages again, because that's what it said, she accused him of having sepsis from smug use. A, my husband's not an addict. B, I'm the one with the addictive personality, and mine was always pain medication, and I would like use drinking with it to make those feel more intense. So that's why I was ready to jump on someone, because I've worked on myself. I'm trying to be closer to the Lord. But you go after my husband or my son, we have a problem. We have a problem, because I would never do that to anybody. Even zombie mom out there who wants to say that me and Barb are going to dox Nina and Becca. No, I wasn't. And I don't think she would have. Maybe under a different name. I don't know. But I don't think she was going to either. You know, so you can't say that. Was it right to talk about Nina? No, it wasn't right at all. But that, like I said, that was years ago. I've learned my lesson, which is why I stayed quiet and I'm just hushing. And like I said, I will invite whoever wants to come up. They can come up to ask questions. Except for, I really don't want to talk to Straight Out Context or Brent Emerald. I don't. You know, the people I apologize. I've given Straight Out Context her apology a year ago for something I didn't even do. And I do apologize to Nina for, you know, that was dirty and low down. But I do hope and she knows, she already said she knows I didn't dox her child. So, thank goodness. And she knows I never doxed her. Like, I've never doxed anyone. But to say that about my child. And then Toddie is saying, like, you know, that Barb is in recovery, and you could put someone could relapse and stuff over that. I'm not on Suboxone. I'm on the Sublocade shot. You know what you can do on the Sublocade shot? You can still get HIGH. Okay? And I'm on anxiety medication. That's not a secret. I'm under doctor's care with gabapentin, because I had a really bad wreck that messed my shoulder up and ruptured my chest. But, so why is it? Because I almost relapsed last year, y'all. And you know how embarrassed I am to say that. I almost relapsed last year, and I will love Daisy Dawn for the rest of her life, because she was there and talked me off of that ledge. When everyone else thought it was funny that I was about to relapse over some drama stuff, like, it wasn't drama, it was that, like, I felt like I was alone. The only person I thought who was my friend had turned on me, I felt like, and I literally, You know, I've had surgery every year for the last 4 years. I don't get them filled, but I could easily just go get it, like medication from the pharmacy that's prescribed to me and take it. And I didn't even do that. I was so, like, I procured it off the street last year, and I was this close, and I feel like such a hypocrite. That's why recovery and addiction is not my whole personality, because I'm so flawed to have over some drama and over people not wanting to be my friend. I almost like, gee, I think how stupid that is now, but I just didn't want to feel the way I feel right now, because right now I feel even shittier because I didn't reach out to Case. He reached out to me. I don't know when this turned into, let's all blame Charlie for everything, when Charlie shut the fuck up a year ago and hasn't said anything for a year. I don't care if people message straight out content saying I was talking about her. I got the same messages. I don't care. Don't care. But I'm going to change the filter because I need I'm sorry. And I'm not going to be a wuss and cry online on here. I'm not going to do it. I don't even know how to change a filter on here. How do I do it, y'all? Effects? Do I go into effects? Yeah, okay, there we go. And, okay, I'll be a fucking raccoon for a little bit. And like, yeah, then y'all can ask whatever questions you guys want. Because I can't think of anything else off my head. But that, I heard the first story from Barb. Look, she doxed me a few weeks ago. I got it taken off of YouTube. And then I saw where she didn't care that she did it or put us in harm's way. And that upset me, but I still kept my mouth shut. And then, when I heard her and Case on live say, "You're not going to find a screenshot of me ever talking about the Linwood Vikings," because I knew Becca's stuff back when Becca messaged me because her name came up with her phone number. That's weird. Why, if someone's number coming up, their name, why are you looking into them? That's so weird, first off. And then to say, though, that Becca was she was involved with the FOIA with me. Like I said, I knew Bryn was going to give y'all the information. When I saw her commenting on Barb's stuff, when the community, not me, when she had hurt like half a dozen plus people, that happened. I didn't talk to your stalker, Bryn. I don't even know if you're the stalker, if she's the stalker. I can't tell. What I can say is there's videos made about you, and everybody knew the story about my implant rupturing in a car wreck. And then when I found out you told, like, KCMA and all that same story, but it happened to you, I was like, what? So I knew I was going to be doxxed eventually because I saw straight out of context and Bryn butting up. But like I said, when I heard her and Case, then because Barb was like going at me hardcore online about me, my husband, everything. She like, don't accuse him of being an addict because he's not. I am. He has no criminal record. You can't say that about him, and you can't say you love my husband too because you don't know my husband. You never met him. Into Louise has. Amber and her lovely partner, her lovely husband, have met me and my husband, and they are cool AF. Like, loved going to dinner with them. Hope they come back to Atlanta soon. But me putting those messages out was because when Case tried to say I messaged him, and then also when he said like, I don't know, they're just blaming everything on me, and they said you can't find a screenshot of me talking about the Linwood Vikings. I was like, hold my beer, figuratively, because I don't drink. I have had, let's see, I drank once 2 years ago one night, and then and then Halloween, I thought it was a Monster. It was a Monster, but I didn't know Monster had alcoholic drinks. Someone gave me a Monster. I took a sip and it was alcohol. Did not like it. And so, like, I don't drink because I don't like the way it makes me feel hot and yucky, and I don't like the hangover the next day. Where Lortabs and like pain medication, I like how those feel. I get energy from them. You like, right? I I've learned, some people take Lortabs or pain medications that are prescribed, they get nauseous, tired, things like that, and they don't like it. Where someone like me, it gives me energy. I'm talkative. You can have, you can have smecks forever. Like, you literally for hours and hours can have sexual stuff going. But I'm gonna shut up now because I hope y'all understand where I was coming from when I said, like, what I did, and my feelings are hurt the most right now by Toddie, because Toddie, why is it okay that my recovery can be put in jeopardy? Why is it okay that after a year of me being silent, that Barbara put my and my family's information out there? Why is that okay? Why is it okay that Barbara and Kay sat on a live and lied about me? And you know, yeah, you dang Skippy, I jumped up on Morbidx ready to defend myself that night after seeing what she said about my husband. So that's it. If y'all probably good, I can't tolerate it, but there are other devices. Oh, you mean like vices? Like other than drinking? I don't know. What you mean? But I'm gonna put this thing out, and then if someone wants to come up, please, no hatred shown at anyone, not even straight out of context, not even, you know, I mean, if you've had a bad experience with someone, that's one thing, and everybody should be able to share their story. That I don't see a problem with, but I don't want to ever see people gang up on people, because you never know the like the space they may be in where they do something reckless. So now I'm going to shut up, like I said, and give it the floor to y'all. Let me change this filter back to regular, and I will see who wants to come up. Like, do I invite y'all, or do y'all invite yourself? I don't know how that works. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, bad habit. Shouldn't have done it. Okay, if you have any questions or you wanted to come up, or if I may have skipped over something that y'all have a question about, just let me know, because I talked really fast just now because I felt like I was going to explode with how I'm feeling right now. Love Toddie. Think it's awesome with the work she does. Stupid fly. I'm in the garage doing this because son's in the house and everything's crazy, but it's okay to apparently just blame it all on me. It's all my fault. Let me see. Do I just see like who, if I click on the 2-person icon, is that how I see who wants to come up or not? I feel like that's how you do that. I don't know. Let's see. Viewers. Okay. I saw Nani, it was, I don't know if you asked to join or not. I just saw go live with guests, freaking Urker. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna invite a couple that I know of, and if you have a question, yeah, you're free to like jump up and ask, or anything else. There you go. Oh, you're just now listening. I'm okay. Gotcha. You're just listening. Well, I'm gonna save this live because I feel like I, you know, explain things. If you have a question, like I said, I'm gonna own everything. Was it nice, like talking ish with Barbara? That's not nice. It's not cool, and that's hurtful, and I hate that Nina had to see that, because even though Kay said no one would ever see these, see what you're gonna send me, she saw, which that sucks. I wouldn't want to see that. Oh, you're working. Everybody's working. I need to be working too right now, to be honest. You that's another thing. You know, probably also what happened, the reason they said, like, you're never going to find a screenshot of me talking about Linwood Vikings, was, which, you, like, it's good that we did know. It's good we did know. And I didn't mess with Becca. I was like, I want nothing to do with this lady. Is I'm glad I knew. I'm glad Barbara told me. But, you know, pretty upset knowing you talked about my recovery and DV. Wait, what? Who? You know what else is hurtful? Listening to you be upset. I've never talked about your recovery, Marie. So that's another thing. I don't know where people are going with things. Um, I've not had a perfect relationship. I had things happen, but you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that happened and you feel horrible. Yeah, I would. Like, that's horrible, because I don't think that's cool to talk about anyone's recovery at all. At all. I think that's like a low blow. And like I said, like, man, that's why I've just shut my mouth, because I don't want to, like, have them. You had Alyssa send them to me. Had them, Alyssa? I don't know exactly who Alyssa is. I do. I didn't have her send them to you, but okay. No, I never made fun of your recovery. I would never make fun of your recovery, ever, ever, ever. Alyssa Gilmore. Is that Catholic Alyssa that I think you're talking about? Is that who you're talking about? Because the messages that were sent, yeah, the messages that were sent, that wasn't, you might want to read back and look at it, because it wasn't me, and it doesn't make it okay, but it wasn't me who said that. Like, it wasn't me who said that. Unfortunately, was I in the conversation? Yeah, but recovery is not something to mess with. And I mean, it was actually like around that time that I almost relapsed myself. And Marie, like, I know you knew that, like, I was struggling. Like, I literally bought M30s and was about to take them, because I just did not know how to deal. And that's why I just, give me one person in the world who doesn't have a bad life. Yeah, everybody has bad experiences. That's true. That's absolutely true. Um, you know, everybody has bad experiences. Mine's no worse than the other. I mean, like I said, I was a ward of the state. I was one of 5 siblings. I never wanted to be an addict because my dad overdosed, and I always told myself, like, I will never, never be, like, never become an addict like him. And I turned into one. But then I promised myself I would never leave and abandon my son, because I'm so in my head, y'all. I don't think about the fact that my dad was 42 and he did not purposely overdose. My brain tells me my dad didn't love me enough to stop, and he abandoned me. And he abandoned me to a situation where I ended up being in a ward of the state. You know, like, that sucks. Because, like, I feel like if all of us who've had addiction problems, I know we all love our children, and I know they say, like, you have to be the reason to quit. It has to be on you. It's my reason. Still my son. Still my son. But I'm not strong all the time. Y'all, I have been not doing great. Haven't been going to meetings. I haven't been, like, doing, like, the things I should do with recovery. And I probably, if I could get my hands on something, like, if something was sitting in front of me this morning when I found all this stuff, I probably would have took them. That's just being honest, you know? Because it comes to a point where it's like, people can say such bad things about you, and a lot of it can be true, but then there's a lot of untruth where it's like, you just don't care anymore. You want to just check out of the world. You don't want to feel it anymore. And with fentanyl being so It's in everything. Like, I knew last year when I got those M30s that I knew they were fentanyl. I knew it, and I didn't care. And that's so selfish of me. So selfish. But such crappy disease. I don't wish it on anyone at all. I've seen a lot of things in this community that's not cool. I've seen friendships blow up. And I hate that. Like, I don't know why that keeps happening. And I've seen a lot of people say, like, all the content creators are always fighting, like, and why don't they come together and do something good? When he was 19, I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you weren't the one to find him. The friend I was telling, my roommate, she was 20 when she passed away. I'm really sorry to hear that you lost your child. It could be any one of us that pick up something. If honestly, that too, like, y'all, if you're struggling or if you feel like you need like a Xanax or something like that, please, please, please do not buy off the street, because I promise you it's cut. I promise you. Even gabapentin, I saw they are now putting fentanyl in gabapentin and selling gabapentin on the street, and tramadol. Please don't do that. And while he was an addict, it was off the street. He was not an addict. It was off the street. Oh God. So he went to buy a pain medication like a Roxy or a Percocet, a Lortab, I'm assuming, or something, and yeah, I'm lucky that I quit and got sober before fentanyl became huge. But I also bought M30s last year that I know were fentanyl. I know they were, because yeah. And I'm sorry that happened to your son. And you know what? You should look into, because now judges are finally taking it serious. Look into trying to see if you can get that person who sold those to your son held accountable, because I do think that dealers that deal that stuff should be held accountable. Now, I know that it's the addict's decision to take it or not, but like, okay, this happened in my hometown. Y'all, I live in a town of less than 600 people. Reputations get shot very easily. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows where I live anyway. I've been to Dodge, Brooks, Georgia. Look at, we got like 560 people in Brooks, Georgia. It is a tiny little town. But just what happened in our county. In this case, I don't feel the same way. Like with Matt Miller and those, like when you buy something that you think is something different and it's not, those people deserve to be under the jail or to serve life in prison, or at least manslaughter, like 25 years. But I did see a situation where a person gave their friend their prescription and it was authentic Lortabs, and their friend overdosed and passed away with it, and our county is suing him. Our county is charging the young guy, I think he's like 19, 20, with murder. And that I feel a little different about. So like, the guy, it was real. It wasn't mixed. It was authentic medication. His friend just overindulged. But Marie, I'm sorry. Like, I did like I know what you're talking about. I did make a really bad joke about like burning down a trailer, because I had just been looking at trailers, because we lost our house during COVID. The house we worked so hard for before the bailout occurred, foreclosure. Our 3,000 square foot home just gone. And it separated my family, because my husband, our families are like Hatfields McCoys. My husband was like, you're going to your grandma's and I'm going to my mom's and taking our son. And I literally lived out of my car in his mom's driveway, because I did not want to leave them, but I knew I wasn't welcomed inside the house. So I slept out of and if it wasn't before hitting rock bottom like that, I would not have gone to treatment. Yeah. I hope I'll get stronger and stronger. I don't know. Like I say, I'm weak a lot of times. I really am. And just like I have to hand when I have surgery, the opioids have to be, the script has to be given to my husband because I'm scared I'm gonna feel them. Yeah, I believe, yeah, call upon Jesus. I call upon him so many times, and for a long time, and if y'all aren't religious, I'm sorry for saying this, but for a long time I used to do those foxhole prayers, like, God, get me out of this, and I'll be good for the rest of my life. I'll be good. Like, just get me out of this bad situation, the situation I put myself in, and instead, I've learned to pray more like when you're in that fire, instead of asking God to get me out, I'm like, please come in here with me. Please come into it with me and hold my hand and help me find my way out. Instead of just pulling me out, hold my hand and help me find my way out. He is there, he hears you. But we also have free will. This is very true. We also have free will. I like the saying I've heard where God always answers. He always answers, and it's either yes, no, or not yet. And just sometimes we just don't like the answer, or we're impatient. I also heard something that I thought was a good thing yesterday. I thought it was dead on for me, where they say everybody's scared to die. No one wants to die. Not even people who want to go to heaven want to die. That's me. I want to go to heaven. I want to be good. I want to better like myself and servitude for others. But I also don't want to pass away. I'm scared of it because I don't have a choice of how it's going to happen. If I did, I would probably tell the person that's coming for me, please don't eat me, or me, just take me out of my misery quickly. I don't want to suffer. Like, please. Or I would love to just close my eyes and go home. For those of you who do believe in Christ in heaven, I hope I feel like Kurt Cobain, and I don't know if y'all also know like the song "Hey Hey My." It says out of the blue into the black, but they would say it's better burn. I'd rather burn out than fade away. I used to have that mentality of like, I'm gonna be the 27 club. I'm gonna join the 27 club, and that was stupid thinking. Now I'm just like, let me get past 36. And then once I hit that, then I'm like, let me get past 42. Because, like, when people have passed away in my life, I just don't want to go in a car. Right. I don't want to go in a car crash. I don't want to drown. Like, I hear that's the worst way. My aunt, she was diagnosed with ASL last year. ALS. I said ASL. ALS last year. And I knew that the guy from Grey's Anatomy passed away, and I've seen my aunt, like, how rapidly this disease has taken over, but I did not know until recently that the way you go is you drown, like, in your own flu, and that, I hate that. I kind of wish that, like, assisted SUICIED was legal in the United States for cases like that. We're able to euthanize like dogs and animals to take them out of pain. What about human beings like that? I kind of wish, but then there's always going to be someone who takes advantage of it and starts taking life insurance policies on people and just doing it. You never know. That's what just seems to happen. But for those of y'all that do want to help with holding, even if we can't hold Gypsy responsible, what we can do is y'all can sign that petition, because look, if we do get enough signatures on it, Google owns YouTube, and Google will prevent her from getting on YouTube. TikTok, that will be a whole nother fight on its own, but YouTube, we can get her removed if we get enough signature. So it's change.org/. capital B for boy, B-A-N, ban, capital G, gypsy, rose, capital R. So ban, backslash, changed